host. Ladies and gentlemen of the crypto space, we're live on a Friday, December 24th, 11:45 a.m. It is Christmas Eve, boys and girls, and the markets are closing at, I think, 1 o'clock today. Crypto space 24/7 doesn't matter. Changes everything. How the hell do we sleep with all this shit? So there's always something to digest. There's always a market to try and see what the hell is going on. It's a global market. It's not like when you're dealing with U.S. equities, you're going through brokers and intermediaries and all this stuff. You're basically peer to peer at a global level. So you really get a sense to a much greater extent of what a population of market actors are doing, in my opinion. I think when you're going through all these brokers and all this opaque nature of legacy financials, it's obfuscated in many regards. Um, we have on-chain metrics, which is a whole nother level compared to really anything you could do for legacy financial markets. So I like to get a sense of where we are. I think the crypto space gives us a good sense of where global financials are, probably better than legacy financials. We see a lot of strength in the crypto space heading into the new year, which is nice, refreshing, relieving. Frankly, we're heading into the new year at all-time highs on the S&P. Yesterday, it closed at a record all-time high. Basically, this looks like an ascending triangle formation, and it did break out. Markets close early, as I said, so we'll see how things open on Monday. Tax selling is pretty much done for the year. Otherwise, we'd see much more depreciation across the board. Um, Legacy financials are skewed because obviously the indexes are through the roof, predominantly because of very large components of the index, but the broad stock market has been completely annihilated, down significantly off all-time highs, significantly 30, 40, 50, 60% and more. So medium, small business has been completely crushed, and what remains is a concentration of productivity and corporate activity, so on and so forth. So I think really the world is in so much need of the entrepreneurship and what's being created in the digital financial system in many regards, the metaverse, the DeFi space, or whatever the hell acronym you want to apply to it. Um, there's so many ways to skew or attempt to rationalize capital allocation to the crypto space, and I obviously prescribe and advocate for prudence. It's very hard not to get excited for what we see here. So many folks in legacy finance still would classify the vast majority of the crypto space as gambling and degeneracy, whereas I, for the last year and a half, since the start of DeFi Summer 1.0, have really defined a lot of these protocols as businesses. Um, that's just what I see. They have cash flow, they have treasuries, they have cash they could spend to achieve particular ends, incentivizing liquidity, so on and so forth. The cash flow for advertising to attract users, to purchase things. Now we have the Dow treasuries, and they're able to literally, they could purchase real world businesses. The complexity with regard to, legacy corporate stuff in that regard, but they have access to billions of dollars of capital. So, that these are all reasons to really be optimistic to see how these things unfold into the new year. 2022 can be a massive year for the crypto space. Obviously, macro financials could completely melt down. Could have some sort of liquidity event, as Jeff Snyder and Stephen Van Meter talk about in great detail. One second, guys. Thank you. I'll see you later. Daddy's on the stream. Okay. Okay. Yeah, see you in a bit, honey. Go, baby. Hi, guys. So we have always that uncertainty with the legacy financial system, but I always say, where's the capital going to go? You have a strong deflationary event. You have some sort of crumbling of macro financials where capital leaves the legacy equities markets. Where does it go? Is it going to go to dollars? Is it going to go to treasuries? Sure, it goes there for maybe a short-term period where people are afraid and they have no idea what to do, and they're merely in a situation of capital preservation mode. But what do you do with dollars? Look what I say about non-productive assets. What do you have to do with them? You only have one purpose, to buy and sell things. What's the one purpose of a dollar? To buy something. There's only one function to it. So what the hell are people going to buy? If everyone sells equities and you have a massive stock market correction, they're going to have a shitload of dollars. They're going to go to bank accounts, and the reverse repos are going to go to like $3 trillion a day. Where are the dollars going to go? So I'm not too afraid of crashes, of deflationary impulses. Where do the dollars go? Are they going to sit in a treasury? Great, a treasury is a collateral asset. What do you do with a collateral asset? You borrow capital against it. What do you do with the borrowed capital? You buy shit. Oh my God. So what are they going to buy? Are they going to buy zombie companies? Are they going to buy companies that are not producing positive cash flow? They buy companies that have no dividend, that don't pay you anything on the money, and it's a mere speculative play on price action, which I argue is the most ridiculous place to allocate capital. I think it goes to productive assets. Warren Buffett buys businesses because of the cash flow. Maybe he gets preferential treatment because he's able to buy literally a majority proportion of a company or an entire company. It's not just interacting with the company from a stock perspective and just getting the dividend. He probably owns the companies on his books, the ones he owns. He's literally getting the income from the company. He owns them. So, it's all about cash flow, boys and girls. It's all about cash flow. And this is really the first time in history, any history that I'm aware of, where anyone, the general public, permissionlessly can acquire cash flow assets that don't fuck you. Part of the language, it's the end of the year, and I get fired up. Because if you get a 5% on a dividend, you get a negative real return considering CPI and obviously the known inflation rate that's significantly higher than that. Why the hell would I buy something like that? It's not going to get you anywhere. And it's not like we're turning to the crypto space for a couple 1,000% return. I know some of us are, and there's speculative ways to think about how the Dow treasuries are going to unfold, but we don't have precedents. We don't have 2020 hindsight to know how it's going to be over a year's time. We have speculation. And I expect probably what they expect. I expect those positions to retain value. So the Dow treasuries, I don't expect that position size. Like if you have $1,000, I don't expect you to make $100,000 off of it by next year, maybe in 2 weeks, 3 weeks after some irrational exuberance, 6, 7, 8,000% yield, you get a lot of return. And which you could sell in a short time frame, but over a long enough time frame, the price is going to significantly depreciate and your position size should maintain. That's the whole point. That's the whole design. That's how it's designed. It's basically designed to regress to the risk-free premium. So I don't see them as interesting investments. Obviously, if I got in early and I was able to turn 100 grand to like millions, yeah, you hold it because it's going to probably maintain value over long enough periods of time. But it wasn't early, and that's okay. That's okay. There's plenty of positions and places to deploy capital. And those are just ones that I don't think are going to asymmetrically appreciate. I don't see Ohm going to $5,000. I see it going down in price. It's designed to go down in price. I don't see time going to $50,000. It's designed to go down in price, not up. But you're getting more coins. So the whole design of the protocol is to maintain your purchasing power. $1,000 next year, maybe you have $2,000, maybe $3,000. That's my speculation, and we'll see next year. I'll only know in hindsight how it plays out. All right, my fork is still on point. Let's see who's in the stream. Paul's in the house. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Oh yeah, Staff, Liam. A pleasure. Welcome. First time live. Tapsy's in the house. Chilled and baked. Hi, Noah. Merry Christmas. Much a pleasure. Trevor Van Meter. in the house. Flaco? Hope I got that right. Hey, Captain. Merry Christmas. Thank you very much. The girls are outside playing cuter than ever. Ahoy, rational brothers and sisters. So, yo. We all geniuses again in the crypto space. Just because price action goes down doesn't mean we're not smart to look at these assets as rational places to deploy capital, in my opinion. So don't diminish peering through the madness. Price action is irrespective of the nature of what these assets are, and looking at them not as bullshit is meaningful because we've digested and we've dug in deep. We've done our due diligence on why these assets actually have real meaning, not just asymmetric appreciation or irrational price action, irrational exuberance. That's a red herring. People look at that and that's not what they're supposed to be looking at, or that's not what they could be looking at it to really see what these assets are. How would you explain to family at the dinner table where CVX CRV yield comes from? Yeah, well, I have a very technical mouth, and most people don't understand me. So obviously, I talk to you guys, and this is the exact same way I would talk to family. Whether they understand or not is not something I can entirely help with. But what I can do is be persistent, dedicated, and repetitive, and just try and pound it into people's head the nature of what these assets are. CVXCRV yield comes from a curve monetary policy, convex monetary policy, and curve protocol transaction fees. Curve is an AMM. It facilitates transactions comparable and analogous to Forex markets. And each and every transaction has a 0.02% admin fee that is directed towards VE curve. And that VE curve is obviously surfaced to CVX CRV stakers. So there's three sources of revenue for CVX CRV, and we all know the nature of where the conversation goes from there. Oh, it's not sustainable. Get damn right it's not sustainable. I expect these returns to significantly dilute in the coming years. I expect CVX and CRV returns on CVX CRV to trend towards zero. And on the contrary, I expect three curve returns on CVX CRV to trend upward over time as volume on the curve platform likely increases over time. Hope that helps. Pradeep, Merry Christmas and a harmonious New Year. I like it. Paul, spell trading 24-hour volume over a quarter billion. Yeah, when that sell pressure dries up, this thing's going to launch. I'm optimistic and hopeful. As the title of the stream is, these markets are at a premium. Even spell is at a premium. And until it breaches higher highs, there is risk that this is a lower high, and this could be a bearish trend or maybe even a long-term triangular compression. These are nice wicks to the upside. These are accumulation wicks. I don't see that necessarily as a topping pattern. It broke. I still see the inverse head and shoulders here. 1, 2, 3. And if you look on the daily, you had a bullish 10 SMA, 50 SMA cross. Guppies are extremely compressed. 10 SMA, 100 SMA bullish cross. And if you go out to the weekly, you never had any death crosses. Albeit those particular moving averages didn't have enough time to draw. But the fact that we're above the TWAP on the weekly is nice to see. Nice that the fork holds up on the weekly. I don't have to redraw it significantly. It'd be nice to get over the first bar. It'd be nice to press towards higher highs. It'd be nice to end the year, with some nice breath to the upside, maybe like 15, 16, 17, 18 cents. And then it'd be wonderful if it crashed to 5 cents. Oh, the horror. It goes from to 18 cents and it crashes to 5 cents with an 85% collapse of capital. Oh, the horror. We're at 2.3 cents, 18 cents down to 5 cents. Oh, no. So the volatility is the biggest red herring in the crypto space. The irrational exuberance would take us that high. Nothing but irrational exuberance would take us that high. And then you're obviously going to have a massive correction. But over time, if it crashes down to 5 cents from 20 cents, that means it's up over 100% from where it is. That's an extraordinary asset. That's an extraordinary asset. So I expect significant volatility of curve heading into the new year. crypto bets comes from inflation and trading fees. Yes, but the inflation is managed in a very sophisticated way. So it's hard to just describe it as inflation because obviously the curve asset is disinflationary base, like literally the protocol is designed to be disinflationary, but the amount of protocols that are locking curve makes it very disinflationary with transitory periods of full on deflation. So net curve is not an inflationary asset. It's net very disinflationary and very often a fully deflationary protocol where there's actually less circulating supply of curve on a daily basis, which is extraordinary for a hyperinflationary asset at the base level. Personally, like the project Platypus on Avalanche. Never heard of it, my friend. Used CowSwap for the first time yesterday. Amazing. Yes, a lot of stuff out there that I have no idea what it is, but moo. Wave. Merry Christmas, Noah, to you and your family. Thank you so much. I hope I help, guys. You know the deal. You know the deal. 44 people in the stream, 12 likes. We can do a little bit better. Jake, Noah, do you think if you didn't take big bets on DeFi plays, Kyber, you're bringing back the good old days, and multiplied your portfolio quickly, would you still have the same ideology as today? Man, I think about this every day because I'm always thinking about how to best educate and best convey my ideas. We are who we are because of what we've done. I might not have this ideology if I did not do what I did. Is it rational for me to advocate what I do currently? Yes. Would it be, it's not entirely irrational for me to advocate, you know, capitalization, buy low, sell high, but there's an increased risk profile associated with that behavior. And that's like, JT. Follow someone else that has that type of content. JT's great. I mean, he's brilliant. He's a professional. There's a lot of traders, Cardi B, she's a heck of a trader, and a bunch of others that give those types of that kind of information. And unfortunately, I guess maybe my ideology is not the best way to grow a portfolio fast. But I know now very strongly with conviction. I say you want to get rich slow, and that's a very common thing that is talked about in financials. Get rich slow. Nobody wants to get rich slow. So, what do you think? What do you think 50% does with an asymmetrically appreciating asset? What if Curve in the next 5 years goes to $300 and you get 100x on the money? You get rich slow. Doesn't have to be fast. So I don't know. I think about what you say, Jake, all the time. For everyone's reference, what Jake is talking about is Kyber, Synthetics, and Bancor, which were my first three plays when DeFi summer got hot in March of 2020. And it was basically a 10x on each one of those. And that really was the start of everything. So those are the first big plays. Rook was a big play. And Matic. Matic was the third big play. And after that, that's it. I've only had three big asymmetric periods in my entire, most recent trading activity over the last 2 and change years. End of 2019, start of 2020, snagged some Ren Dark Nodes before they launched. It was like February of 2020, March of 2020. ChaosNet was live or just went live. And that's how it all started. Portfolio was microscopic back then. Huh. Heck of a ride. You got bringing back some nostalgia, Jake. You're bringing back some nostalgia. Alpha Bayan. Merry Christmas. Thank you. Thank you. Chill the Big thoughts on New Order DAO. No idea what it is. No interest in DAOs. So I don't have interest in them. Daniel with the curve, wars heating up. We're seeing DAOs, cartels, protocols accumulating as much CRV and CVX as possible in their treasury. As a retail investor, how do we prepare for this? Purchase CRV and CVX. I see the DAOs as red herrings. They're going to be accumulating. They're not retail. They're not a person. They have a mandate, and their mandate is cash flow and treasury reserve growth. So they're going to buy. They're going to buy, especially when the price is down. It's going to go down. They're going to buy. They have capital. They have cash flow. They have people buying bonds. They have more and more and more firepower to purchase more and more CRV and CVX. I think any deflationary event that occurs in macro financials is going to be faced with a very unprecedented situation with the way the crypto space has evolved. These protocols are throwing around billions of dollars of purchasing power, and they only can really purchase crypto assets. So what are they going to purchase? They're going to purchase assets that have cash flow. Maybe LP positions and Popsicle and the whole sushi story is getting crazy. And what Daniel's working on is big stuff. What are they going to purchase? They're going to purchase cash flow, boys and girls. Therefore, I'm going to purchase cash flow before they purchase it. Damn, good morning, Noah. Rupert. Hola, Merry Christmas, buenos dias. Ustedes también. Marlon, Merry Christmas. Always a pleasure. Josh, nice forks. Forks? I got forks on my table? Oh, my forks. Josh, hey. It's a decent fork. I mean, it makes sense. It's pretty on point. I really want to see curve stay above this top green line because that was previous resistance, and also because this looks like a shitty inverse head and shitty head and shoulders. Let's zoom out to the weekly to get some context. Yeah. I mean, if it falls down and holds above this top green line, we still haven't had a retest of was that $4.64. I mean, that's not horrible. If that flips previous resistance into support, that's a big deal. What I'd really love to see it hold this top green line and turn that into resistance flip support. There we get to this little tiny green line, which is at $5.70. Getting a bit overextended from the way the fork paints the situation. Where are we on the daily with the guppies? The daily with the guppies, they're pretty compressed. It's not like we're in irrational territory. We don't have a lot of irrational exuberance in the market. We're like the 10 SMA is like significantly departed from like 100 SMA or 200 SMA. It's not that bad. The 50 SMA is, it's like 40 cents, 50 cents, 60 cents from the 100 SMA. So that's not that bad. And it's not vertical. Like the 100 SMA going, the 50 SMA going vertical, and the 100 SMA is like, it's always trailing, of course. So I don't think we're in irrational territory. Be nice to get it to see it go up to maybe $7, $8, and then fall back down and turn a previous resistance into support. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see, boys and girls. Alejandro's in the house. A pleasure. David, thank you. Killis, hey, hey, hey. Merry Christmas. Thanks for hanging out with us. Where else would I be? Liam, Cow Swap is a gasless swapping and also doesn't use Ethereum. Well, yeah, limit orders are all gasless, so you got Keeper DAO. You got, oh my God. Uh, I can't believe, I blank out. There's so many damn assets, I blank out. I forget the name of it. It is what it is. Um, anyway, so, but Keeper DAO and 1 inch offers gasless swaps, the limit orders, and Mako offers gasless swaps. It's something. That's how they do that stuff. And I think Keeper DAO is actually quite interesting. It just doesn't produce cash flow right now, but speculatively, they are pivoting significantly and heading in the right direction. If I was younger, if it was 2020, I'd be hitting it pretty hard right about now. Dex aggregator, no doubt. AR, how do you see Daniel's proposal to take over sushi affecting Spell and Ice? If that goes through, holy shit. I'll leave it at that for now. David Morgan, lol. Lol. I like that acronym. James, Popsicle Ice is going to melt faces off in 2022. Well, we'll see. I have a decent position. Popsicle is sitting at 6.55% of the portfolio. Pretty nice. What is it, about 66% down from all-time high? I mean, I'm just like 8x from my entry, so I'm sitting cushy right about now. CJ, A. Merry Xmas, love your streams. Any tip to hold for a long time? I want to transition high time frame only, and according to my journal, I'm closing trades way too soon. Yeah, the odds are you're experiencing a shitload of capital gains. The odds are most people in these markets have late entries. Note the title of the stream. Markets are at a premium, holiday market activity. What happens is maybe folks have capital and they're getting in. And sure, that's good for us that have been in, but folks just getting in are late. They're late to the party and they're exposed significantly to a deflationary impulse. Again, 85% drawdown from here. It's not going to be pretty if you're taking a position anytime soon. The last month, the last week, the last yesterday, today. That's not pretty. You want to buy when markets are bleeding, when you never think they're going to go up again. And no better chart than like the weekly on Bitcoin for that. What was that? There you go, 2020. Nobody thought the markets were going to go up again. Bitcoin was dead forever. Damn, holding on to the 50 SMA. That's good to see. Notice the double forks here, so it's a bit of an indecisive period. Um, we'll see how that plays out. It's a nice bounce off the midline, though, give or take. And obviously, that was also a hit on the bottom bar of the ascending fork. That's pretty cool. Look at the interesting resistance. Smacked right into the fourth bar. I mean, that's basically spot on. So it's interesting when these geometric patterns line up and it literally just hits either like a moving average or one of these fork multiples. And obviously, there's different places for them on varying time frames. So this is obviously coinciding with the 200 SMA on the 4 hour. So there's resistance there. But notice the 10 SMA is on an upward trajectory. 10 SMA crossing the 200 SMA is going to be good to see. And look at that on the 4 hour, the 50 SMA is about to cross the 100 SMA. So, we head into the new year with a little bit of bullishness. We got a golden cross. Well, the golden cross is the 50 versus the 200, but it doesn't, it's not shitty if the 50 SMA crosses the 100. It's indicative of bullishness, and that's on the 4 hour. Let's check the daily where those pretties are. Yeah, there's no death cross on the daily. It's not going to be pretty if the 50 SMA crosses the 100, but if you get that bullishness where the 50 SMA crosses the 100 and the 200 on the 4 hour, you might get the 50 SMA skipping off the 100 SMA or dipping underneath and popping back up. Those are common types of things that we see in technical analysis. Um, Josh, pitchfork, symmetry, geometry. Lewis is in the house. A pleasure as always, my friend. I'll talk to you soon. Best part of the stream was your daughter sneaking in from the side. Yeah, she's a little creature, a tiny little delicious creature, little hands, and hey, she's a cute kid. Uh, David, my man. Daniel, happy holidays. Wanted to say, as the new year is upon us, it's been a journey watching you mature as an investor. Yeah, very different story compared to my original streams. Been very different. It's been a heck of a road with you guys. So, I could take that opportunity and say thank you all. As if it wasn't for you guys listening to me, my ideology, mentality, narrative, strategy, everything I do wouldn't have evolved to where it is today. So, as much as you guys like the stories, I thank you. Without you guys, I wouldn't have been able to iterate on these stories. This year, we were buying lowing and selling high. 2020 will all be about cash flow. Yeah, I hope that helps. And I wasn't really doing much buying low, selling high, maybe at the beginning of the year. Like heading into 2021, the narrative was evolving and maturing. Um, I just honed in really on what Buffett talks about. Little does he know. I don't think he knows. He doesn't know tech. He doesn't know startups, and he just sees. I don't know what he sees. I think he's just a different wavelength of mentality. David, buenas fetes, monsieur. Yeah, I'm horrible at French, but howdy, howdy, partner. See, do you Gethman? Yeah, I definitely got that wrong. Do you have kids? When do you think about getting them into crypto? They're 6 and 3. They have barely an understanding of numbers to deal with $100, 1 to 100. So they're young. But I tell them all the time that anything but digital money is fake. And they're like, what? And they're like, oh, crypto, oh, Bitcoin. So they know about Bitcoin, they know about crypto. Luke, what are your thoughts on CVX getting listed on Binance Lobby? Good thoughts? Pretty much only good thoughts. Liam, CJA, I focus on fundamentals and let it ride. If underlying doesn't change, no need to sell. If the narrative changes, you must adjust. If the narrative doesn't change, there's nothing to adjust. You play assets. You don't play assets. You play narratives. That's the deal. So bear in mind, if an asset fails to live up to a particular narrative, then that's a failed it's a failed capital allocation, and rationally you must exit that position. So if I don't see why Curve wouldn't live up to the narrative of a digital forex market with euros dollars swapping now live with Andre's fixed forex. Jesus, it's a forex market. That's crazy. Can you imagine what this be in 2, 3 years, 4 years? It'd be absolutely crazy. So it's fully living up to the narrative that we've defined for it over the last year and a half. Okay, what is this? Merry Christmas, Noah. Thank you very much. CJ8, thank you. Not much else to talk about heading into the new year. I'm happy got to everyone's comments today. Markets closed in about 45 minutes, so this thing looks like it's just going to stay static and frozen in time. I don't think there's futures after hours. I don't know on Christmas Eve. But if you look at Spell of the Weekly, this thing looks like fire back up above the TWAP. It literally dipped below the TWAP on the weekly for 3 weeks after an 8,000% run. And a lot of people probably got hammered pretty bad because they bought when they saw people, oh my God, it's Spell, it's going up, and oh my God, 85% retrace. So this is why you don't buy when markets are at a premium. You don't buy when people are like, oh my God, it's never going to come down. That's not where you get discounts. We want discounts, boys and girls. This is not a market for buying. This is a market for waiting for an opportunity. Entries are hard. I'm shit at entries, but I damn sure know a good entry is not buying at a premium. It's buying at a discount when people are afraid it's going to keep going down. So Spell looks good. Curve, that top green line. I mean, that's not pretty. That's not pretty. That's not pretty. We'll see what happens. I'm not touching anything. My portfolio is locked. I'm heading into 2022 with the story that I told you guys. I'm not touching anything. And I have my strategy, and I'll let you guys know if that narrative adjusts, depending on market conditions. And we'll see. Thank you all. 52 people in the stream, 19 likes. We can do better. I wish you all a wonderful Christmas. I'll catch you right after. We'll start on Monday. It's all good. There's no reason not to continue as expected. But we'll finish off next week strong into the new year. Hopefully, we'll get in some good stories. We'll solidify our 2022 plan of action, discuss the narrative a couple more times, and hopefully, we'll have some fun, some good laughs, some success stories at the end of the year. And that's the name of the game. Happy, healthy regards to everyone. Friday, December 24th at 12:19 p.m. Thank you all for joining. Tell everybody to subscribe. After party on Discord. As always, I got to catch up with Ask Vids. I'm sorry, guys. I've been slacking a little bit, but I will see you on the flip side. Peace.